Okay, let's just get right into it. You're grinding, creating content, getting the views, and your audience is totally blowing up. But trying to navigate the massive bureaucratic maze to actually get your hands on your hard-earned cash, man, that can feel incredibly frustrating. There is this whole invisible machine running behind the scenes, and today we're going to expose exactly how it works. Welcome to this explainer, where we're demystifying the YouTube money trail.
To break this all down, here's our roadmap. We'll start with the revenue split. Then we're decoding CPM and RPM. After that, we'll hit the payment thresholds, tackle taxes and verification, and wrap it all up with the payment timeline.
All right, moving right into part one, the revenue split.
So for standard long-form content, the baseline deal is actually pretty fantastic. You, the creator, take 55% of the net revenue, and YouTube keeps the remaining 45% to keep the lights on. I mean, when you think about the fact that YouTube is pulling in tens of billions of dollars globally, that 55% slice is literally the engine driving the entire creator economy. It's a remarkably straightforward partnership.
But hold up, because the monetization model completely flips when we talk about shorts. Since shorts run in a continuous, endless feed, ad revenue is pooled together. Out of that giant pool, they pay for the music licensing rights first. Then, based on your share of those total views, you keep 45% of the allocation and YouTube takes 55%. So yeah, it's an inverse split, but it's a trade-off for tapping into that massive algorithmic reach.
Okay, section 2, decoding CPM and RPM.
Now, figuring out the difference between these two acronyms is absolutely crucial. CPM, or cost per mil, is the gross cost advertisers are paying per 1,000 ad impressions. Think of it as a purely advertiser-focused metric. It's the raw value of your digital real estate before YouTube takes its cut. RPM, on the other hand, is revenue per mil, and that is your actual net revenue per 1,000 total views. RPM includes the whole shebang: ads, YouTube Premium, channel memberships, super chats, and divides it by all your views, even the ones without ads. Basically, RPM is your true bottom line.
And what's wild is how much your specific niche dictates that RPM. Advertisers are hunting for very specific demographics, right? They will pay massive premiums for audiences in personal finance and tech because those viewers have serious purchasing power. We're talking RPMs soaring up to 30 pounds per 1,000 views. Compare that to a huge gaming or general entertainment channel where the RPM might sit way lower, somewhere between 2 and 6 pounds.
Well, let's look at some real numbers to put this into perspective. Say you have a small tech channel pulling in just 50,000 views, but at a 15-pound RPM, that's 750 pounds. Meanwhile, a gaming channel needs a whopping 500,000 views at a 3-pound RPM just to make 1,500 pounds. Think about that. The tech channel is making half the money with a mere fraction of the viewership. It is absolute proof that in this economy, not all views are created equal.
And hey, here's a really crucial piece of the puzzle, the number 8. The second your long-form video passes the 8-minute mark, you unlock the power to manually place mid-roll ads. This is a real game changer. It drastically multiplies your available ad slots, working just like commercial breaks on regular TV. If you strategically drop these into natural pauses in your content, it's hands down one of the fastest ways to boost your overall RPM.
Up next, section 3, clearing the payment thresholds. Earning the money is one thing, but to actually get it out, you've got to jump through 4 sequential hoops in the AdSense system. You have the tax info threshold, the identity and address verification threshold, picking your payment method, and finally hitting the ultimate payment threshold. Let's break down the actual math here. The whole bureaucratic process officially kicks off when your estimated earnings hit just $10, or whatever your local equivalent is. $10 sounds like nothing, right? But it's a huge milestone because it triggers the mandatory verification and payment method steps in AdSense. It's basically the platform saying, okay, let's verify this is a real person getting ready to handle real money.
But don't celebrate just yet. Your funds are essentially locked in the vault until your finalized earnings hit the ultimate payment threshold, which is $100 in the US. You absolutely must clear this bar by the end of the month before they'll authorize a bank transfer. If you fall short, no worries, your balance just rolls right over to the next month.
Which brings us to section 4, tackling taxes and verification.
Guys, you really need to pay attention to this one. Because Google is based in the US, they are strictly bound by US tax laws. If you do not submit your tax forms, and yes, this applies even if you live completely outside the United States, the system is legally forced to aggressively withhold up to 24% of your total global earnings. Just fill out the paperwork. It makes sure you claim any tax treaty benefits your country has with the US.
Right after you handle taxes, the clock starts ticking on identity verification. You have 45 days to upload a government-issued photo ID. Miss that window, and your channel's monetization gets completely paused. No joke. Next is address verification, and this is surprisingly old school. They literally mail a physical 6-digit PIN to your house, which usually takes 2 to 4 weeks. You have to open up that envelope, log into AdSense, and type in the PIN just to prove you actually live there.
All right, moving on to Section 5, the monthly payment cycle.
So, how does this rhythm look over a typical month? Between the 7th and 12th, those estimated earnings you've been obsessing over in your analytics are officially finalized and locked into your AdSense account. Then, you've got until the 20th to resolve any account holds or tweak your payment settings. If you're over that $100 threshold and everything is in good standing, Google fires off the payment between the 21st and 26th.
But when can you actually spend it? Well, that depends entirely on your chosen payment method. Electronic funds transfers, or EFTs, are the absolute fastest, usually hitting your account in 4 to 10 days. A wire transfer can drag on for up to 15 business days depending on your bank. And if you're still kicking it old school with a physical check in the mail, yeah, you'll be waiting a solid 2 to 4 weeks to see that cash.
Now we have to talk about that total panic moment every creator experiences. Why did my ad revenue suddenly drop? If you see a nosedive in earnings but your views are holding steady, don't freak out. It's usually just seasonal ad spending cycles. Advertisers dump massive budgets into Q4 for the holidays, and then those budgets totally dry up during the notorious January slump. Or it could be that one of your videos got flagged as not advertiser-friendly, which severely limits the ads shown on that specific upload.
This quote right here really nails the mindset you need. Our source says, making significant advertising revenue on YouTube isn't about chasing subscriber counts. It's all about the monetized plays. Honestly, getting paid as a creator isn't about vanity metrics. It's about treating your channel like a legitimate business, deeply understanding who your audience is, and mastering the actual mechanics of how you monetize. And that brings us to the end of the money trail, leaving us with one really provocative question to think about. You know the math now, you've seen the map, but are your views truly working for you? Now that you see exactly how a dollar flows from the advertiser's wallet straight to your bank account, what steps are you going to take today to optimize your RPM and claim what you are actually worth? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep creating, keep optimizing, and I'll catch you next time.